Here we go. Welcome to the Nursing Home Warrior Podcast. I'm Paulie Moran.
And I'm Danielle Lieblein.
Here we go. Let's go. So what do we got this week, Miss Lieblein?
You're an idiot. We are, actually, we have two amazing people today. Thank you so much for coming on. We have Stephanie, who was in a nursing home for rehab for a short term, and Bill, who was there as her advocate and who actually sat by her many, many days, spent many, many hours there. So I think today we will start by first talking about Nursing Home Warrior Project Silver Threads a little bit.
Don't forget, we have the pop-up shop this Sunday in Far Rockaway.
Yes.
It's going to be our second one.
And if anybody wants to volunteer, it's going to be an amazing day. We have about 13 volunteers already.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're setting up at about 9 o'clock in the morning. We should be done, wrapped up by 12.
Well, we need to be done before they eat lunch, right?
We should be, yeah. So please reach out to me or Paulie through Facebook or Instagram, and we'll be able to give you the information about where to go and where to meet us.
Yeah, if you need me on my Facebook, it's just simple. It's Paulie Moran. Okay. Nobody's come to visit me at the bar, so you may as well look at me on Facebook.
Right, because you're signing autographs, right?
Yes. None yet. Yep. I would like to thank everybody who's donated clothes. We're still getting clothes. Mary Ann from the Harmony Bar gave me a bag of clothes today. Oh. Richie and his wife gave us a bag of clothes. I have to pick them up after here.
And then somebody that wants to be nameless gave you a check for $500.
Yes. And
somebody
we used
else
that.
Did too, right? $200?
Well, she gave us $500 over the summer as well.
Right, but didn't someone just give you $200?
Yes. Gino Parente gave us $200.
Thank you so much.
He's Dolce Gelato in Williston Park. If you like gelato, it's absolutely the place to go.
Fantastic. You should have brought us some.
Well, it doesn't travel well.
Good point. And then Laura and Sonia, again, with the amount of clothing that you guys have supplied us with, our hearts are just filled. The pop-up shop is going to be mostly, I'm going to say 90% of their stuff.
Definitely, without a doubt.
So thank you so much.
So we're doing really good with the clothes. We're running into a little bit of a logistical issue because the two of us can't get these boxes out fast enough. So if anybody would like to help us.
The two of us?
I do stuff too.
You haven't delivered one box yet.
I've shipped them out.
That's good.
I offered to. You say no. So if anybody would like to help us deliver boxes, a friend of mine, Kenny, offered to bring some boxes when he goes to see his daughter in Connecticut. He said he would take some if we would give him addresses of places to drop them off.
Such a great idea.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We wouldn't put you out of your way.
No.
So if anybody would like to help us do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, just drop them off on the way. Just snap a picture of the outside, and that would be perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's move on to Stephanie and Bill.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So, no, thank you for coming. So, we talk a lot on this show about what happens when you first go into a nursing home, and I know from my perspective, because I'm there, what is it like as a person coming from the hospital? Like, you're on the stretcher, you come into the nursing home. What is your first initial feel like?
You're scared because the unknown is the unknown, and you don't know what's going to happen there. And pretty much out of the hospital on the stretcher, you're not at your best. You don't feel well. Certainly, you don't look well. You're very needy. It was a very humbling feeling when I got there. Everyone was very welcoming. Put me in a room, and that was the start of it. And the start was fabulous. And then over time it started to change as I became more aware of my surroundings. In other words, I didn't always get my pain medicine when I needed it. I don't know whether they were short-staffed or they didn't. I heard at night a lot of laughing in the halls and a lot of things like that. And it was like when you just go to the store. You're too young to remember, but you'd go to a department store, and you'd want something, and you'd talk to someone, and this one with that one, and then the one with the white flower would come, and then the ultimate, if you couldn't get any satisfaction and you made enough noise, the red flower came, who was the king of the hill, so to speak. And that's how it was in the nursing home. This one, right there couldn't do that because that wasn't in her job description.
Right.
Did anybody in the hospital explain to you what was going to happen when you got to the nursing home? Or obviously nobody from the nursing home goes to the hospital, but did anybody in nursing or anybody say anything to you, this is what you can expect going into a nursing
Did
home?
you not
No,
spell that?
they wanted to keep me. They
I know it's hot.
They rehab. They wanted to keep me in the rehab place there for 6 weeks.
At the nursing home?
No, at the hospital.
Oh, they wanted
said
you,
The hospital
they
had their
wanted
own
you
rehab.
to do acute rehab.
acute rehab for
Okay.
6 weeks, and I was going to get more.
Explain the difference before you go. What's the
Yes.
difference between acute rehab and rehab in a rehab or nursing home
So
facility?
acute rehab is just way more intense, and you have to really qualify for that. So instead of having subacute rehab where you would go for like an hour a day, acute rehab is several hours a day. It's just more intense rehab.
And they wanted me to stay there, but it was. I'm not going to say the hospital, but it was a hospital I wasn't comfortable being in at all, which is why when I was operated on Wednesday, I was out Friday, because the last thing in the world I wanted to do was stay there. So I looked for nursing homes, and I found one that was close, and we had people who had been there before, so I was relatively familiar with it. It on the surface was like a shiny new bubble. I mean, it was the rooms were clean.
Well, you had your own room, and
had
then you
my
had a
own-
large room
I had a large room with a sofa
and your own bathroom.
and my own bathroom.
With
It
a
was
shower.
with a shower, and it was en suite, and it was lovely. That was very nice.
Most nursing homes don't have that. So
And was
No.
that the luck of the draw, or
No, I think they were all singles on that floor, weren't they?
that unit, yes,
that
but
unit.
but you just got lucky that there was a bed available on that unit.
Okay. And so then I was there, and then we went over the food. I can't fault that one way or the other, because I was told afterwards that all the anesthesia and all the drugs I were on were affecting, So I had Uber Eats here, would would save me, and it was all right. No one told me what to expect. They did tell me that the physical therapy was going to be in the mornings only, and beautiful. The physical therapy. I can't say enough about the people there, and I can't say enough about the equipment. It was everything.
You can
was,
say where it was.
Nassau, Massapequa Rehabilitation and Nursing Home, and that was
Which is not in Massapequa.
which is in
It's true. It's in
Massapequa.
Amityville, but they do have an amazing rehab.
And it was, and the guy, and they were very willing, and I saw, how the different people, which was very interesting, because I thought a lot of the physical therapy people at that point, because they were pretty astute. The people that just wanted to go there and do nothing did nothing, because I would see these people, I'd say, and I'd talk to them, how long you're there? 3 weeks. Oh my God, I'll shoot myself if I'm here 3 weeks. And Bill will wear out the sidewalk in Sunrise Highway.
bringing you food all the time?
Oh, and just I'd wake up, he'd be there. I'd go to sleep, he'd be there. I'd wake up, he'd be there. I would like, do you go home? It was ridiculous, but
Moral support.
Yeah.
and then he was there because if I'd call for the medicine, it would take too long to come, and and at one point I thought about just stashing some of my own so that I'd have it when I needed it. And
That's probably a big no-no.
no, that was a big
a
no-no, because they
huge
make sure
no-no.
they make sure you take it in front of them. But as I said, when I got into the physical therapy, I said to the man, "This won't do." So he said, "Well, you can come back in the afternoon." I said, "Okay."
We could go outside.
Plus, we could go outside. I was the first.
What didn't you like about the physical therapy in the morning? Just that it was in the morning, or
No. It was usually once a day, and that was it. And then I was able to go back later in the afternoon or whatever he was, And they were very amenable. At first, I did everything that I was told to do, and then I wanted to make more progress because I had in my mind when I was going to get out. So I had an end goal. So the first few days you do everything according to the world, according to GARP. I just did everything they told me. And then after about 2 days, I said, this won't work now, because now here's what I want: stairs, and I want in and out of the car. Okay, this is what I want. So then I did the little stairs up there, and I finally said to him after 2 days of that, I said, I need real stairs. Can't. So he said to me, "Okay." He said, "I see that you're not lazy. Do you want to try the stairway?" And Bill was there. I said, "Oh, can he come with me? In case I fall, I wanted everybody there to catch me." but I went up piece by piece, and I was able to get myself to where I could get out. It's a frightening, as I said, the hospitals should do better in explaining what to have there. I think they should, rather than not going to the rehab in a facility, they should have been more understanding of my desire to go someplace else. My back goes up when someone knocks someone else in the same field. So I didn't like that at the hospital at all. They just wanted me there for 6 weeks, and there was no this, and the man came, the physical therapist came one morning, and he said to me, well, we're going to have physical therapy now. I said, no, I haven't, because I haven't had my pain pill. I was supposed to have my pain pill half an hour before I had the physical therapy. So he said to me, well, it doesn't really matter. I said, well, listen, unless pre and
It matters
post,
to me.
unless pre and post are synonyms, it matters to me, because,
Right.
and so that was that. And when I got to the nursing home, as I said, the food was all right. It was on time. They didn't seem to care too much if I ate or not, which in retrospect, I'm thinking to myself, if a child doesn't clean their plate, you say, what's wrong? They never said that to me. They just, this is what you ordered. I was like, oh, all right then.
They quickly knew who you were.
Everything went back, because I didn't. In the end, I didn't even bring the trays because I had Bill. But and then leaving was a little. I don't think they wanted me to leave. When I was leaving, and I said I'm leaving, and but I mean, it served its purpose. I was safe there. I will say that I felt safe there, because when I did get there, I was totally immobile. I never felt so helpless.
And you had the whole shoulder thing going on also.
Which was worse than the femur. First, I thought I just broke my hip, and then when I was really, after a couple of days, and I wasn't coming along, I thought, oh, this is a bad thing. What really happened? So then he told me that I broke my femur, which is the largest bone.
Yeah, hardest bone in your body to
bone
break.
in the body, and then I had 2 screws and a rod, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I want to explain why that hurt so much. And then I had gone down like this and like this, so then I had a fracture in the collarbone. And that was worse than anything, because you couldn't do anything. I couldn't anything.
Do you have, did you go to any of the recreation stuff, or?
Yes, we did, didn't we? We played bingo. And that was it, because they didn't. One time I heard music, and I said, what's going on down there? And they said, well, there's music. And I said, and I know that how? I felt they did the bare minimum.
So you didn't get like an entertainment schedule, or like you could go down here and listen to music. You could go
got
over
it,
here.
but you're laying there and you can hardly think straight. How can you? There were people. I knew rapidly who was diligent and who was not, because there was some that was so thoughtful and so good and so kind. Because I would get up and I cry. The first 3 days, I think I did nothing but cry, because I never felt so helpful. I couldn't get up. I couldn't do anything. I was dependent on them to roll me over in bed. I mean, how depressing is that?
Yeah.
Very hard.
And how did they treat you? Because it sounded like you were there 23 and a half hours of the day.
Well, they treated me fine. I mean, you have to go through security, which is good, because at least security's working. They got to know my face.
But they had no problems with you being there. Did they welcome you there? Like, we're happy you're here. We're happy.
Yeah. I mean, I could tell you from working in a facility that we're always happy to see family members who are supported by their loved ones.
You would
Because
think
I was
so, yeah.
because when I
Unless they're a
needed
pain in the
things,
ass, then we're not.
no, because
Yeah.
when I needed
Yeah.
things, he could get it. Like if I needed water, he could get it.
Right.
When I was cleared to get up by myself, if I had to go to the bathroom, he was able to walk
Assist
me.
you.
And
he
give you
would-
the
Yeah.
confidence of being able
Yes.
to get up and
Yes.
not call the nurse, or
and
have
they
somebody
never
else
once,
come in.
And they never once threw you out, did they? I don't think.
There's no visiting hours in nursing homes. They're suggested, but you had your own private room, so no one's going to kick him out. He could have slept there if he wanted to.
I mean, I knew when she was going to sleep, so I made sure I left.
Yeah.
Just
We've
at
had
that time.
patients sleep in the nursing home rooms with people. The only problem
You
is
would have done that for sure.
if you share a room with somebody, that's when it becomes a problem, and then we have to remove you as the resident to meet with your loved one in another room, because we don't want to disrupt the resident who lives there. But the fact that you were in your own private room, it wasn't a problem.
You would have stayed happily.
His face says differently.
Do you have any words of advice that you'd want to give somebody who is right now in the hospital with a fracture, and they pick their nursing home, so they already know where they're going, wherever that nursing home may be? Do you have any words of advice that you tell them as they enter into the nursing home, what they should be looking out for.
Yes, you want to see the cleanliness. You want to see the attentiveness of the people. When you walk by, when you wheel by the nurse's station, you please want someone there. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I went down there and I said, "Does anybody work here?" You know, because they were all, I don't know whether it was they were short-handed, but you know, I do feel there would have been more preparation. I mean, you know, the physical therapy came, they just gave you a brief overview. I think if everybody had a patient advocate or one person, that maybe that's what it is, not a marketing person, but a patient advocate who would go room to room to room and every day say, how are things going, and
What's good and what's bad.
what's bad, how can I help you better? I see that, you know, they tell me you cried last night. Can you tell me why that was? Was it because you didn't get the medicine, or you're just a little upset? Can I sit with you? Or I think the human touch wasn't really there. I think they were doing their job.
I was a bit upset when I couldn't be close to her when they were doing the therapy. You know, I wanted to see how she's responding. I want to learn what they're doing. And they always said, you know
Well, there's definitely reasons for that, but you can't be in that room. What they could have done, and you could have suggested, is to do the therapy in your room, and then he could have been there for it. But we really can't. I feel like I still work there.
No, but that's
so we don't really have people who are not working there and who are not actually getting the therapy in that room. It's a dignity issue for the other people as well.
And it's a liability
you don't want
issue,
to hear
I'm
what
sure,
other
too,
people
on
are
some
talking
level.
about, the conversation between the therapist and another resident.
You may not be honest
So
with them
so
with
it's
the-
just
with someone else.
if that ever happens again, you can just ask for that therapy or that day even just to happen in your room. It's not going to be as good as therapy because you don't have the same equipment. But yeah, we really can't have other people in the therapy.
No,
room
they
while
were
it's going on.
they were very welcoming when he said he wanted to be when I wanted to go up,
Yes,
because
of course.
I don't know if they let me go up and down those stairs,
Yes.
which I thought was pretty nice.
So you happen to be in a nursing home where the therapy is literally off the charts, one of the best therapies I've ever worked with.
Absolutely.
And that's why you were there, right? You weren't really there for the food. You weren't
No.
there for the
Nobody's
accommodation.
there for the food.
As far as the medication goes, I will tell you what usually happens is the medication gets delivered the next day. So they don't always have your medication right there on hand. That's why we make sure you get your medication before you leave the hospital.
Well, I couldn't understand why they explained that, well, I have to go to another building. So my thing is, we'll go to another building. Well, I'm not the person that goes to the other building. I said, you know, if you're supposed to, you know, I'm a planner ahead for the most rather than the least. So if the most I can take every day of this medicine, get that most every day here.
So there was a problem with your
I'm
medication.
sorry, we're going to need to take a break.
Oh.
Hear from Arthur and the guys from the Empire Auto Group.
Oh, okay. I
So-
can't see the.
They call
Yeah,
me.
no, we're
Okay.
17
All right,
minutes
go.
in. It's
All right,
time.
go ahead. All right, sorry, Bobby. Thank you.
Empire Automotive Group is about people, their families, and their dreams. We strive to create meaningful connections. To be bold. To embrace evolution. Wherever the road might lead us. And to build trust with our employees, customers, and their families. Empire Automotive Group. Accelerating the lives of future generations of drivers.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, LifeVac is responsible for saving over 4,000 lives from choking.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
The LifeVac saved my life in 1 to 2 seconds.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. Order now.
And we're back. So thank you, Arthur Lee and LifeVac. You guys are incredible. You're over 5,000 saves. It's amazing. Empire Auto Group, they couldn't be better. If anybody's looking to buy a vehicle, that is the place to go to.
It is, and they're making us a basket that
Oh,
we're
yeah?
gonna auction off. Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah, be awesome. Not auction, whatever that is.
Raffle.
Raffle. Thank you for that. Yeah, so they're making us a basket. So very
Fantastic.
exciting. Yeah.
Is there a car in it?
If there isn't, I will be winning that.
The fixes.
Where are you selling the raffles?
It's
No,
not.
not
all you
selling
have
them,
to, all
you
you have to do is put your name down on my Facebook page underneath the post, and then we'll just pull out. the
Oh,
winner.
okay.
Yeah, all the names that we put in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you call it? You gave. We didn't talk about. You gave. Why can't I think of his name? The Life Back last week.
Richard Fanjoy.
Yes.
Yes, Richard won the Life Back last week. Awesome. Okay, so what I was saying about the medication was, so we can't get any medications until the doctor puts the orders in. So somebody comes into the nursing home. Now we have to go through the whole entire chart. Part of going through the chart is reviewing the medications, and we have to call the doctor and have those medications approved, and then we get the medication. So it's not seamless. It is a process, but sadly, people who are in pain, this is a forever thing, right?
Oh, it went forever.
So, but
It's like the carts aren't stocked with, it seemed wrong. Well, excuse me, we got to go to the other building for that.
so I'm not sure of the building because there was no other building.
Another
That's what they
wing.
said.
Let's
Wing.
say the
There's
other wing.
someplace
There's
else.
another wing. So there is something called a Pyxis where we have narcotics, where you have to two people have to put their fingerprints. It's a whole big thing where they could do that. So they
Well, that
did
was
have
on
to do that.
narcotics. Well, that oxy.
Right.
That's
So that's what they
probably
have to do.
why,
But
yeah.
with your specific prescription, apparently it wasn't put in the computer correctly. That's why they kept doing it until they fixed it, and then it didn't happen again. But somebody didn't realize that it wasn't put into the EMR, the electronic medical record, correctly, and that was the problem with that. But I'm glad they were able to fix that.
But let's-
Because when you're in pain, you're not thinking
No,
about
not at
the
all, no.
the paperwork and the red
No one
tape to
wants
get
to
it.
be in
You just
pain.
want your pills so
No.
you
No,
feel
it
better.
But there was a concern at the end. I remember there was some paperwork you wanted, and somebody said no.
Yeah, when I was leaving, because first I found out the FEMA, then I realized I really had no clue what was going on, what was happening. So when I was leaving the nursing home, first I said to the girl, I'd like to leave Friday. So she said to me, no. I said, what?
Right.
So she said, no. I can't leave?
Right.
So she said, no, you can't leave. Who told you could leave? I said, I told myself I'm leaving. So she said, well, you have to get the paperwork. I said, no, you get the paperwork because I've told me and I'm telling you that I'm leaving. So paperwork or no paperwork, I'm out. So then she said, okay, fine. She came in with all the paperwork and had me sign off on it. And then I said, no, I'd like a copy because I know when I left the hospital, they gave an envelope. They gave me an envelope and I held it. And then they took it and I said, well, I want that envelope back. And they said to me, no, you can't have it. I said, well, isn't it mine?
The copy should be yours.
I said, isn't it mine?
Now, what's up with leaving?
There might have
is
been
it,
a
is it
dietitian who got
leaving
a
against
copy.
medical advice, or can you just be like, okay, I'm done. I want to
So
go.
no, you can't
I'm not
just
too
be your
sure
gun.
what happened.
No, so you can't just, so you can leave against medical advice, which nobody wants that to happen. And they would say to you, which is usually our threat, and I'm not saying this specific nursing home, just saying nursing homes in general, would be, well, then you might get charged for the stay because then insurance isn't going to cover it. And then people are like, oh, well, I don't want
Right, I've
a
heard that.
$5,000 bill. But the truth of the matter is, you're a different story. Not everybody is you. I know you
You
very
mean
well.
that in the nicest way, I'm sure.
No, what I mean is, I'm going to explain what I mean. So I know you very well. I know the support you have at home. I know that you're completely cognitively there. I also know that you have the resources. If there's a problem, you would reach out to somebody. We don't know that for everybody, though, right? So I do know that for you. So if you're telling me you're going home Friday, in my head, I'm like, she's going home Friday.
She's
number one,
definitely
she's
going
going
home
home
Friday.
Friday. And if there's a problem, she has support. Right? It's not like she's going home
by
herself. And she has support that is capable, and you have a few dollars in the bank, and if you had to make a phone call to somebody to have people come in, that would happen. But we don't know that, right? So I know that because I know you for so long. But somebody else who doesn't know that is like, this woman, this crazy lady thinks she's going home. Like,
I'm sure that's what they
what,
thought.
what do you mean this crazy? You can't just go home.
I'm sure
So
that's what they
we
thought.
can't just, when someone says they're going home, we're like, stop. We're going to have to
Yeah,
real
we'll rethink
conversation with
this.
you, right? For me, it was easy. It was like, she's going home, and she's fine. Not she's going home. She's not thinking she's going to do what she wants. She's going to be fine, and if she's not fine, she's going to handle it.
Well, I pushed myself too, I think, because I did go back. Like they come in the wheelchair, and I'd say, "Well, no, let me walk."
Right.
Yeah, at least walk as far as you can,
Just
and
follow,
then if you need
follow,
the
just
wheelchair,
follow
you get in the
behind
wheelchair.
me,
Yeah.
and they did, and those two, I forget their names now, but they were absolutely lovely. And they let me go back in the afternoon and just would tell me what to do. And, not working with them, but, if it was riding the bicycle or doing things like that, whatever else I needed to do to get myself moving, they were fully, I felt I was fully supported there.
Yes.
Fully supported.
Rehab is amazing there. They also, you have to understand, a lot of people, again, aren't like you. So people come in and they're depressed and they don't want to get out of bed, right? And they don't have, a lot of people don't have family there helping them, making them feel better. And they lay in the bed all day and they're miserable. So you really are like a diamond in a rough, right? You're the exception to the rule. You pushed yourself, you knew your limits, you knew what you want, you knew your goals, and you got yourself there. But with all due respect, we don't see that every day. Okay. So you coming in, it was like firecrackers.
Yeah, you knew you didn't want to be there any longer than you needed to be there.
And you knew what you needed to do, and you knew how to push yourself. So someone might have said to somebody else, you might have said, I'm going home, and they would have been like, no, and you would have been like, oh, okay, I'm not going home yet. Yeah. Damn it, I'm not going home. Where you're like, no, I am going home. So no one was really ready for, now I'm saying they weren't ready for you, but you're the exception to the rule. Not many people they
don't expect it, sir.
They don't.
No.
They don't. So, and we have to always.
Marked by your name.
We always have to err on
no
the side
doubt.
of caution because
I'm sure there's a black
There's
mark.
a mark. You're just not sure what color it is.
no, not at all.
Find another home. You're not coming here anymore.
No, not at all. But we don't want. Obviously, we don't want to send anybody home who isn't ready to go home, and we don't want to send anybody
Or
home
who would be worse off when they're home.
Yes,
like
you
you
have
who
just
doesn't
said.
have family
Precautions, I
support. So,
understand
like
that.
when someone says they're going home, we'd be like, well.
But I don't understand people who, this lady was there 6 weeks. I said, 6 weeks? And she had something, not as bad as this. And I said to her, don't you, why?
So,
God, push
because-
yourself.
What is it,
Because-
100 days like is automatic, like your insurance covers you for 100
No, they
days?
do. No, they cover you up to 100 days. It's not automatic.
Okay.
But also, other people have other comorbidities, right?
Yes,
Some people
some of
have
them do.
lung cancer. Some
Right.
people have COPD. They can't work as hard. Some people have CHF and they're fluid overloaded and they can't get to the gym as much as you. So everybody is different. You just happen to be the exception to the rule, and you were amazing because you are amazing. Just other people can't necessarily do that.
And we went out. They had a lovely backyard. It was, lovely backyard because it was in the summer. So so what else was there to do? So we went outside. We played backgammon. My grandson came, and we all sat outside a couple of
Right.
times, which was nicer than being in the room. Whenever possible, we would sit outside. I had friends come. We sat outside.
But some people don't get visitors, right? So how would they get outside?
Yeah.
I mean, we
they
staff
would wheel
would.
you because they said to me, "Did I want to go outside?"
Right.
They would. I assumed they would have taken me.
Of course they would have, but if you don't have somebody to go outside with, sometimes they just sit in their room, right? Because they don't want to go outside. They're like,
But I
I'll
did
just
see
stay
a
here."
lot of people outside with people, didn't you? There were a lot of people that had people. I mean,
People make the difference. Like I say this
Totally.
all the time. People thrive when when you have visitors. So please visit the nursing homes, visit your loved ones. It's really important for their mentally to get better, which will obviously carry over to their physically. But I see you have some gifts for us.
yes, and this is why I say how important what you're doing is, because you recognize
minutes, kid.
that people in the nursing homes, especially for long periods of time, are often, everybody comes at first, everybody comes at the beginning, everybody comes all the
Yeah,
time.
and then they forget about
and
you.
then it wanes. And these are, I know you collect things for
Yes,
people
yes,
in the
yes.
nursing homes.
Thank
These
you
are
so
reading
much.
blankets.
These are amazing
nice.
because they can go right over
Thank you.
people when they're in the
Yes,
wheelchair.
and
So
here's
thank you
another
guys
one.
so much. Thank you, thank you,
And
thank you. We'll
we
put them out
appreciate-
on.
At the
We're gonna
pop-up
bring them
shop.
on
Yep,
to the
I
pop-up shop.
appreciate
Yeah,
everything
thank
you're
you.
doing because
Thank you.
it's an underserved population.
It is.
And unfortunately, it's a population that more often than not either cannot or will not speak up for themselves because traditionally and I'm making a big supposition here, but traditionally they're all older.
Yeah.
And people at that age, like my age, I was, you're always taught don't make waves. Didn't rub off on me, but but that generation is, don't make waves. If they tell you this, just go with the flow. And so I don't think that they feel that they can speak up either.
Also, a lot of times people just don't know what to say, right? So we're here to educate people, to
Try
help
and educate
people to
help them.
so that they know what to say and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and like understand, like I just explained, like the medications, they don't just come with you, right? So there's a process. We're here to try to help people make that transition easier for them, and they know who to talk to, who to go to.
Well, it's definitely a needed service. I mean, I think that you could probably put together a little booklet, nursing home
Eventually.
guideline or,
That's a goal.
checklist.
It's a goal.
That's on the list.
It's a
To
goal.
look for these things and, have some hospitals, even have hospitals underwrite it because they want to know that their people are going someplace where they're going to be safe as well.
Yes.
Right.
I hate to cut you off.
But thank you
But
so
the clock
much to
says
both
we're out
of
of
you for
time.
coming. Yes,
Okay.
we don't want Bobby to yell at me
No, he
again.
gets mad.
Thank you
Happy
so
Thanksgiving,
much.
everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Enjoy.
Thanksgiving. Chloe
Thank
signing
you, everybody.
autographs.
Yes, whenever you want.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.